Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Dala Alfonso, and I am broadcasting live from Omaha, Nebraska. As you can see, I'm at home. We started a journey about 6 days ago discussing the qualities or the attributes or the prerequisites for developing a strong positive mental attitude. Why? Because in order for you to become successful in life, it is impossible for you to be a success without having the right positive mental attitude. Because attitude is the foundation for any kind of success you want to experience. It doesn't matter if it's in your family, your relationships, your business, or your finances. If you have the right attitude, you will see the right outcomes or the right results. So we started out discussing the most important resource that we have in life, which is called time. If you haven't watched that, go back and watch the first episode of the series. And then we talked about attitude in itself. We gave a broad definition of what it is and how it functions. Then we started talking about taking responsibility for your life, discovering your life's purpose. And yesterday, we talked about something very, very critical, that it is not enough for you to have a purpose and all of that, but you also need to know what it is that you want. So today we are going to talk about faith. Now, why is this so important? Because too often we think faith is a religious element. We think about faith in the religious context, and unfortunately, especially for those people who are who are religious, as it were, you are a Christian, you're a Muslim, whatever it is that you believe in, your faith in itself has become an impediment that has prevented you from becoming a full success in the areas of your interest. And I will explain that now. Let me take a step back. What am I saying? What is faith? Because we're talking about faith as an element, as an attribute for success as it regards to your attitude. What is faith? Faith is a belief, what you believe. You see, when we talk about faith, a lot of times they tend to paint a broad stroke across it, because when you say faith, you're talking about your religion. But faith is more than a religion. Look in any dictionary. The very first definition of the word faith is having confidence or absolute trust in a thing or some person, in a person or thing, meaning you have absolute trust, absolute confidence in a thing or person, not in a system or no, let me rephrase that. Not an abstract belief, but believing in a thing. So if you're a person of faith, it means that you are putting your trust, your confidence in God. If you're a person of faith, you're putting your trust, confidence in something. It could be you. But when we're talking about faith here, what is the word faith? Faith refers to a belief system. And what is belief? Belief is the same word from the word believe, L-B-E-L-I-E-F, and the word B-E-L-I-E-V-E are the same root word. Why? Because without faith or without believing, it is impossible to accomplish any dream. Now, what am I talking about? The belief we're talking about is not only believing in yourself, that we're going to talk about tomorrow, but we're going to be talking about believing that it is even possible to accomplish your dream. You see, the first definition of the word faith refers to your belief system, what you think, how you process, how your mind has been conditioned. And then the second definition in any dictionary of the word belief is now where it makes specific inference to religious belief. So when we're talking about faith or we're talking about belief, we're talking about different categories on what you believe. Talking about, if you were talking about religiously, then what do you believe as a person of faith? When we talk about belief in your finances, what do you believe your financial future would be? When we're talking about faith in the context of your career, how far do you think you're going to go? When we talk about faith in your marriage, how is your relationships working out? When we talk about faith in your children, your family, faith is segmented. That's why you can have faith. You've developed your faith in one area and it is working, but you cannot transpose that faith that you have learned, the skills that you've developed in one area, the belief that you've conditioned your mind to accept in one area, and expect it to apply across the board. In essence, in order for you to become successful, you must have faith that the picture that you're dreaming about is able to come to fruition. That was why yesterday we spent some time. We spent some time yesterday to talk about the things that you want, creating a picture of the future that you desire. So today we want to talk about faith. Do you believe? I'm not talking about somebody else. Do you believe that the pictures that you created of your future is even possible? Do you believe? Can you see yourself actually living that life of your dreams? Can you believe yourself? Can you believe that it is possible for you to live in an environment free of violence, where there's complete peace, joy, wholeness, fullness? Can you picture yourself living a life where you can be able to afford to pay all of your bills? Can you believe that it is possible for you to live without sickness? Is it possible? Can you by any chance believe that it is possible that you will have the body that you dreamed about? Is it possible? Can you believe that you can attain to the educational levels that you dreamed about? Why? Because without you having absolute belief that it is possible, then every dream that has ever crossed your mind is a mirage, because it will not happen. Why? Because without faith, it is impossible to accomplish any dream. Why is this so important? Why is this important? Because faith tends to condition your mind to see. Without faith, you cannot see. Without believing that it is possible, when the opportunities that will create that possibility shows up, you will not be able to see them. Why? Because faith is a required ingredient. Faith is actually an attitude. A person of faith believes that even when things are not working, it's only a phase that they're going through. You must have faith. You must believe that that dream is possible, because without you believing that that dream is possible, then you might as well just forget it now and save your energy for something else. Faith is required. And I'm not just talking about your faith in God. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your faith in your dream. Your faith that I see myself finishing from university and starting a business and living in this particular part of town, doing XYZ. What do you believe? Do you believe that thing that you dream about is even possible? Because without you being able to come to a point of absolute resolution that dream will come to pass, then you are only kidding yourself. Without faith, no dream will come to fruition. Now, how do you develop faith? Scientifically, it's been proven that we hear in two ways. And here's the interesting thing. Most times, it is what we hear internally that determines what we experience externally. Let me explain. If inside you believe that it is not going to happen, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside, it will not happen. In order for any dream, any picture, anything that you believe to come to fruition, you must get to that point where what you're saying internally and what you're saying externally are in alignment. You see, recently I read a study that says that how we hear outwardly is different from how we hear inwardly, meaning that if I'm thinking something, the way my mind expresses it is different from when I hear the same thing said to me. Think about it. And I do a lot of public speaking. I do a lot of meetings in that context. A lot of times when I'm speaking at a meeting, like times like this, there's something that I do. I speak based on what I have inside, based on my understanding of the subject matter, based on my study and my research. But I always take time to sit down and go back and listen to myself again. And in listening to myself, here's the absolute truth. Every single time I listen to myself, I hear something new. Why? Because the way I expressed a thing is different from the way I receive the same thing. There are so many dimensions of anything that you can interact with or encounter. You must get to that point where you are now actually able to receive and dispel the same information. And so once you're able to determine what it is that you want to accomplish in life, it is important for you to get to that point where what you're saying and what you are confessing are exactly the same thing. So you hear with your inner ear, you hear also with your outer ear. But the translations must get to that point where you're saying the same thing. That's why it's important for you to confess your dreams, for you to keep saying it. You've heard people say that, that faith comes by hearing, faith comes by hearing. That is a true statement. You have to keep declaring the things you believe. You have to keep talking about it. Why? Because you're birthing something from inside, but your outer ear needs to hear it for it to actually begin to take shape. You understand? And that is one critical element that many of us fail to understand in the concept that is called confession, or declaring what it is that you believe. Why? Because your ears hear differently. So it is very important for you to keep, number one, exposing yourself to the right environment so that you can have a picture perfect future. You can see the future that you want. Number two, you have to start saying the things that are important, the things that align with the picture that you are seeing. Number three, you don't only have to keep saying them, you have to start walking your way towards it. It's not enough to confess, but you must start working, putting your hands to the ground. You know why? Because the more you speak to yourself about that picture that you're seeing, you will find yourself creating ways or roadmaps or strategies that will take you from where you are to where you need to be. But it is so important for you to believe in that dream, to believe in it enough that you're willing to lay down your life for it. You must believe in it enough in order for it to come to fruition. You cannot attain to anything that you do not believe in. You see, when you believe in a thing, you're willing to put your resources, you're willing to put your network, your net worth, everything that you have, you can throw behind that thing if you believe in it. And so it is critical for you to have faith in your dreams. It is impossible to attain to any dream that you don't believe is possible. So think positive possibilities. Start having positive thoughts. Spend some time during the day and revel over the possibilities of that thing you're dreaming about, and see yourself doing it, see it happening. The reason why many people do not attain to their dreams is not because they couldn't come up with one, but is because they came up with it, but they did not believe that it was possible. It's a different thing to believe. It's a different thing to dream. Dreams without a belief of possibility is a mirage. That means it becomes something that you just wish. There's a difference between a wish, and a dream that must come to fruition. All right? So I want to challenge you to spend some time and think very critically about what it is that you want. Having identified what you want, the question you need to sit down now and ask yourself is, do I have faith in this dream? If I don't, then what do I need to do? I need to sit down and create pictures. Maybe you need to cut pictures and post them everywhere where you can see it. It's important for you to begin to talk to yourself, begin to speak to yourself, begin to declare things to yourself. You know, I spent a very substantial time with my young daughters, and there is something that we do. We talk to ourselves. And let me tell you one of the confessions that I got my daughters to be making, and that is, I noticed that they had some challenges, especially with their friends and all of that. And we live in an area where there aren't too many people like them. And so it's a stereotypical mind. And so what we began to do is that I began to challenge them to say, I am beautiful, I am perfect, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I can do anything that I set my hands to do. I am a success in life. Anything that I want, I can attain. You see, you need to come up with a statement that affirms what you want to believe, maybe what you want to achieve. Maybe it is time for you to stand up and stay up every morning, stare at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, I am perfect, I am strong, I am beautiful, I am handsome. I can do anything that I set my mind to do. I see myself attaining my dreams. I see myself becoming a success. I see myself becoming a business mogul. I see myself standing up and speaking to thousands of people. I see myself writing those books. I see myself signing books. I see crowds standing to get into my meetings. You need to start declaring it. You need to start declaring the possibility. And the more you declare it, the easier it becomes and the more attracted it gets to you. Nobody's going to do that for you. Faith is an individualized work. It's a personal work, and nobody will do that for you. I really hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. So it is very, very important for you to understand that without faith, without believing that you can accomplish that dream, it becomes a mirage. So I hope that you will spend some time to study about the subject of faith, especially as it applies to your dreams, your aspirations, and the things that you want to accomplish, and then begin to work out the details. All right, so thank you so much for joining me for yet another moment of Private Transformation Minutes. My name is Dala Alfonso, and if you have not joined the movement yet, I will encourage you to sign up with us on Facebook or on YouTube, or actually on YouTube. We're also on Instagram at Private Transformation, or you can visit our website, privatetransformation.com. and make sure you click the subscribe button to be a part of what we're doing. We have some training programs coming up this year. I hope you will join one of them, and you will be tremendously empowered to accomplish the things that you are interested in pursuing in your life. So thank you once again, and please be sure to share this video. Shares. Information is free. You have received freely share. All right, don't listen to this video by yourself and then say, oh, that was great, and move on. You see, that's one of the things that cause people not to be successful. You listen, but you do not do. So I want to encourage you to please do if you believe. Share this video and let it be a blessing to the people around you. So God bless you, and I will join you tomorrow for session 7 in our month journey to developing a strong, positive mental attitude. God bless you, and I will see you tomorrow.